Good morning, my diamonds and my Teletubbies and my Hershey kisses. I haven't forgotten that term of endearment for you. We live in a whole new world where modern masculinity, they are very confused. And I want to share a video with you for your reaction. No high value woman is going to sign up for anything less than what I'm about to share with you. Okay, let's listen.
This generation of men want submissive provider wives. Like, they say they want a traditional submissive woman, but they also expect her to split the mortgage. As a divorce lawyer, I've seen the math on this and it never adds up. We're watching men ask for the emotional labor of the 1950s and a financial partnership of 2025. They want a woman who is quiet, agreeable, soft-spoken, but also one that works full-time, manages the home, raises the children, and somehow still makes them feel like a king when he enters a room. That is not a partnership, that's a contradiction. Because what they're really wanting is someone who makes money but doesn't make any noise, who only speaks when spoken to, who never nags but always nurtures. And if she dares set a boundary or voice a need, suddenly she's too much. This version of modern masculinity is confused. It wants control without responsibility. It wants submission without support. It wants her to carry the weight emotionally, financially, domestically, but not ask where he's been or why his phone is always on Do Not Disturb. This is not about shaming men. It's about calling out the disconnect, because real partnership isn't about domination or submission. It's about mutual effort, mutual respect, and mutual growth. You don't get to cherry pick the parts of tradition that benefit you and ignore the parts that require you to show up. So if a man wants to lead, he better know how to carry, not just the bills, but the emotional load, the hard conversations, and the 2 a.m. teething baby. Otherwise, he's not asking for a wife, he's asking for an employee. And if you ask me, no high-value woman is clocking into that job.
I agree 100% with this beautiful young lawyer, a divorce lawyer, so she really gets the skinny and the current information when it comes to things. However, you have a lot of men these days that they are also looking for a partner rather than a wife or a girlfriend or my woman. That's easy to get. But it's hard to find a partner. And a high value woman, I think, for 2025, she doesn't want to just be a wife. She wants to be a partner. Let me share this with you also. Now, he speaks with colorful language, which is a bit abrasive, but whatever, he gets to the point.
So we not doing the girlfriends, we not doing the wife. Ain't nobody wifing you bitches up. Ain't nobody claiming you motherfuckers as no girlfriends. Stop it. We getting the money. We married to the money, man. Why would I have a girlfriend? That's the bare minimum. You gotta be my partner in crime. You gotta be my partner in business. You gotta be my partner in life. You got to be my partner. A girlfriend can't do nothing but make me smile. She can't bring no money to the table. She can't have no deep conversation. When you're a grown ass adult, you don't have girlfriends. You have partnerships. And if you're not moving in that direction, where that person that you sleeping with, you're laying with, you're talking to every night with, if y'all don't got a partnership, then it's a battleship. Y'all really bullshitting about to crash any minute. Anybody can be a girlfriend. Anybody can be a wife. Can you be a partner? We trying to get the championship ring. I'm trying to get to the playoff. Can you work as a team? See, a lot of y'all don't understand teamwork. That's why you never win a championship. Everybody want to be the captain of the ship. And now y'all wondering why we had a shipwreck. Teamwork will always make the dream work.
You already know. Teamwork is what will make the dream work. Now, his delivery is a bit abrasive and very aggressive. Well, abrasive, I would say, not aggressive. But he has some excellent points along with the lawyer. Unfortunately, you have a lot of these men who say that they want a partnership, but they expect the woman to work, pay 50-50 or 70-30 on the bills, and they don't want to do their part when it comes to raising the children. He's on this week, you're on next week. Or you're on this month, and all of next month, if there's anything that needs to be done with these children, he's on call. That's a partnership. When it comes to cooking, he cooks this week, you cook next week. Or he makes sure that there's meals. If you don't feel like cooking, then you're the one who have to order in the food. And the one who cooks is the one who don't have to clean up the kitchen or the dishes. But the one who don't cook, then they're responsible. That's a partnership. That's teamwork. Women should not be doing all of the housework, all of the laundry. Let's keep it real. Okay, you have children. This week, I'll do my own laundry and the children. Next week, I'm going to always let him do his own laundry, and then he'll do the children's laundry. Or how often. You know where I'm going with this. But when it comes to women having to take on all of this responsibility, she can't blame the men for that. She has herself to blame for that. Nobody is telling you to sign up for that. You're volunteering that. Stop doing it. And if you are dating a man, you should not be doing wifely duties like cooking for this man, cleaning for this man. You know, you're not his wife now. And of course, if he's sick or if he's not feeling well, then you could, help him out in that area. Or you can cook for him maybe sometime, but not every single time you go over to his house, you're cooking and cleaning and doing the things that a wife should be doing. Personally, I don't want to hear this wife-husband nonsense anymore. I want to hear partnerships. Now, let me share some of the comments with you from the divorce lawyer explaining that does he want a submissive provider wife? Listen to the comments. One woman says, as a kid, I always thought my mom was a girl boss because she did everything. But now I realize she was a victim of my dad's man-child narcissistic abuse and weaponized incompetence. He was very incompetent. She did it all alone. Some people say he want a mom. No, they don't want a mother, honey, because you don't sleep with your mother. They want a mammy. You see, you throw your mammy some crumbs of smacks every now and again. So they want to find a woman who she's a good cook. She has a good home. She runs a good home. She's very nurturing. If he's sick, she knows how to be a really amazing hospice nurse. And then they'll sit up there and they'll wife her up. That's not his wife, though. In actuality, his side piece is his wife. You're his mammy. You're the one who keeps the house in order and manages the household and makes sure that if he falls ill, he'll always have somebody waiting on him hand and foot. So this day and age, 2025, when I look at married women, I have nothing but I pity them. Because they still think that being married and having a husband, actually a hustler and a player, they think that that's an accomplishment and that that's an achievement and that's a flex. When in actuality, that's sad. Because it shows that you still living in bubble world, fairy tale land, and you're stuck pretty much. I don't want to be crude or mean, but you're pretty much stuck on stupid. Sorry. His side piece, that his piece, and when I say peace, I mean P-E-A-C-E. That's where he goes when he wants peace away from you. Like when I was looking at Grandma's House, that's a great movie, by the way, a 5-star. I recommend it highly. You can see it on Pluto, Tubi, and Prime Video for free. And this husband, the wife works and he works, and he comes home and he says, what's for dinner? She says, I bought pizza. He said, what the hell am I going to do with a pizza? And she said, well, honey, I work too, and I'm tired too. He's like, that's all right. I know where I could go, where I could always get a hot meal, a home-cooked meal. So obviously he has his side piece for that. And of course the wife, she falls apart. She stopped drinking, but she went back to drinking. And just check out Grandma's House. And it's just ridiculous. Let me read some further comments. One woman says, Kristen, she says, they want a woman that looks like a minor. She acts like their mom. And she pays bills like a roommate with benefits. And it's not just husbands who are expecting this, boyfriends too. And one woman, who I consider her to be very wise, Wendy Woo Woo, she says, that's why I remain single and child-free. I'm 46, and I've never been happier with my life. And another woman, her name is Jacqueline, she said, with my ex-husband, I see he's your ex, she said, I used to pride myself on being superwoman. I was working full-time, waking up early to clean, do laundry, cooking elaborate meals after work, organizing the family holidays. She says she woke up and I finally realized I was just an unpaid employee. And Kuda Fidelia, she says, an employee gets to clock out and go home to rest. They get vacation days, sick days, personal days. She said they decide how to spend their wages and their money and how to spend their free time. This is nothing more than modern day slavery. Of course it is, if it's not a partnership. Now, when it comes to the woman, let's say she's pregnant, he has to be a partner to understand she's in a very delicate state at that time. So, of course, he's going to step up even more. So I say to men, if you don't want to have to go through all of this extra when it comes to, well, I got kids and whatever, find yourself women who already have kids. Their kids are pretty much at least 15, so that they can have working papers and they got a job. They're able to get a job once they hit 14 or 15. So they're working and going to school, so that keeps them out of trouble, and then they're going to church. They're busy. Keep those kids busy. So if you don't want to have to say, well, I'm pregnant and I'm having your baby and all of this, just don't date women who want children. Date women who are already with their kids 15 and up. That alleviate a lot of men's headache. Because you're going to have a lot of women who always want to play that card. Well, I got to get pregnant. I got to have the baby. Well, if you got a man who wants children, he should be making 6 figures, sweetheart. Please listen to Auntie Sheila. He should be making at least, bare minimum, $100,000 a year, because you're going to need to be able to take some days off, at least 3 days out of the week, for a nanny. He wants you to have these babies and all of this, getting up in the middle of the night and all of this, and you working. What, child, please. And by the way, that getting up at night, yeah, he's getting up at night. Like if you're breastfeeding, then of course, because I breastfed both of my children, you know, and I definitely had to get up. But this day and age, they have it where you could put your breast milk in a bottle and then the baby could still have the breast milk. And he's getting up the same way you get up. This is a partnership. This is not no modern day slavery. Not at all. Let me end again with this beautiful lawyer to serve as a reminder for you beautiful diamond Hershey Kisses women who are awesome. Go ahead, beautiful lady.
This generation of men want submissive provider wives. Like they say they want a traditional submissive woman, but they also expect her to split the mortgage. As a divorce lawyer, I've seen the math on this and it never adds up. We're watching men ask for the emotional labor of the 1950s and a financial partnership of 2025. They want a woman who is quiet, agreeable, soft-spoken, but also one that works full-time, manages the home, raises his children, and somehow still makes them feel like a king when he enters a room. That is not a partnership, that's a contradiction. Because what they're really wanting is someone who makes money but doesn't make any noise, who only speaks when spoken to, who never nags but always nurtures. And if she dares set a boundary or voice a need, suddenly she's too much. This version of modern masculinity is confused. It wants control without responsibility. It wants submission without support. It wants her to carry the weight emotionally, financially, domestically, but not ask where he's been or why his phone is always on Do Not Disturb. This is not about shaming men. It's about calling out the disconnect, because real partnership isn't about domination or submission. It's about mutual effort, mutual respect, and mutual growth. You don't get to cherry pick the parts of tradition that benefit you and ignore the parts that require you to show up. So if a man wants to lead, he better know how to carry, not just the bills, but the emotional load, the hard conversations, and the 2 a.m. teething baby. Otherwise, he's not asking for a wife, he's asking for an employee. And if you ask me, no high-value woman is clocking into that job.
Let me share
You'd
this
probably
with
have an
you.
easier life if you stopped dating losers! He's a loser!
But maybe I'm wrong.
You'd probably have an easier life if you stopped dating losers! He's a loser!
You know, I love me some Christian Walker. I want to share this also for women who constantly keep, chasing after a man, or he's treating you badly and you keep chasing. Christian, educate these ladies and these men.
Don't text him. If you're thinking about texting him, don't do it, and let me tell you why. We know scientifically that the more effort a man puts into a woman, the more vasopressin he builds, the love hormone, and the better he bonds with you, and the more he likes you. More effort equals more vasopressin equals him liking you more. You texting a guy who's already not hitting you up is doing the opposite of what you want. I'm drinking Waterboy's new cherry limeade flavor, only available at Target, and it's delish. Number 2, I'm sorry, I only want you with a guy who sees you as the prize and comes after you. Not a guy wondering about you, gross. Not a scaredy cat, a guy who's like, that's my queen and I have to have her. He needs to come after you because of who you are. Number 3, babe, you're busy. And instead of letting him think you're sitting around thinking about him, let him think you're out having fun and he's missing out. He'll text you.
I love Christian.
You don't need to go back and forth with a man. He gets 2 options. He behaves, or you take your pretty, loving, soft heart and you go get another man. 2 options, and he gets to choose. You don't mommy him like he's 5. He is a grown man. He doesn't need to be trained how to treat a woman. He either gets it together and figures it out like he's grown, or you go get another guy. I know a dude, hot, used to girls just throwing themselves at him and then throwing a tantrum when he doesn't give them what they want, which just gives them an ego boost. He tried one girl who really liked him and really cared about him. She dropped him cold turkey, and then he found out that she was seeing one of his friends. He lost it, went into chase mode after this girl, started chasing after her, and she was already over it because she said, you're not treating me right. I'll go get the treatment I deserve from someone else. And she didn't know this guy was friends with this other guy. See, that's how you do it. You don't train this guy. You don't beg for love for this guy when you know you have a good heart and you can get it from somewhere else. You heal and then you move on. You're worthy of queen treatment.
And there you have it. That's my Christian Walker. I've never been able to put up with someone abusing me. I just can't do it. I think I have like the Martin Luther King thing. I'm a Capricorn. Martin Luther King was a Capricorn, and they even made a holiday after Martin Luther King because he got sick and tired of watching people of color be treated so badly. Now, we know we had people previous to him who stood up, but the reason why they even made him a holiday is because he did it peacefully and he made so much of a difference. I can't also put up with no one treating me badly, and the main reason is because I don't deserve it. Now, if I was a rotten person and I know that I had a rotten heart and I wasn't kind, genuine, loving, authentic, maybe I could, I don't know. But I know damn well, I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're my son, my daughter, my grandkids, my fur baby. Let royalty get stupid up in here. Yeah, I don't care. The only one I put up with some craziness from, if I had to, it would be my mother. Because I know Matthews 15:4, you have to honor and respect and treat your parents properly. And there's rewards that come with putting up with their toxicity. There's no rewards putting up with a man's toxicity. There's nowhere in the scriptures that say you must and should be unalived if you don't submit to this man. But if you curse your mother disrespect and dishonor her, you're supposed to be put to unalived. Jesus don't care whether she's toxic or whatever. Now, if she's physically violent, I understand you have to fall back. Pray for her. Pray for her. Bible studies. Go to therapy. Work it out the same way you see these women on divorce court fighting for these, like Christian Walker says, dusties. They give it their all to fight for that. So when it comes to anyone putting me, I've been divorced twice, baby. And I was engaged to a man who I adored. I was almost suicidal when I lost that dude. I had to fall back because he cheated on me. And you only have one time to betray me like that, baby. Hit me in my back. No, betrayal? Nah. I'm one and done, especially when it comes to that. I'm not going to sit here and play Russian roulette with my life and with my health because you don't have any self-control and discipline. And as a grown, full adult man, that's what a man is. He's disciplined and he has self-control. You can't seem to keep your pickle and your eggplant in your pants. Yeah, we have a problem. But anyway, I just wanted to share this with you, and keep in mind that a high-value woman, she's never going to sign up for abuse. And that this day and age, modern masculinity, they are very, very confused. Twinkle, twinkle, twinkle.